Okay, attention to brief. Today is the 18th of May 2018, and we will be performing a training flight with Zich. We'll be flying a C130J tail number 006. Our call sign will be Heavy 11, parked on spot 15 of Kataisi Air Base, Georgia. We don't have assigned strict times for engine start, taxi, and takeoff, as we'll be spending some time on the ground going over the procedures and different drills. Mission. This will be a training mission consisting of 11 parts: cockpit overview, power up, cockpit setup, engine start, taxi and takeoff, basics of the autopilot, navigation instruments, navigation basics, CARP, landing, and shutdown. Our operating area will be Georgian and Turkish airspace, which we've been cleared to enter. Cargo. We'll be loaded with 4 crates equipped with G12D chutes and weighing 882 pounds apiece. Our task will be to drop all 4 of them in one run on the training airstrip southwest from Kobaleti Airport. We'll perform a low-level drop from 1,500 feet using the autopilot and auto throttle functions. We'll set up the full CARP program in the air when we get to our target area. Communications. We'll be talking to Kataisi ground on 121.9 on Victor and tower on 263.0 on Uniform. There will be no controlling agencies once we leave Kataisi airspace until our arrival in Batumi, where we'll turn to Batumi approach on 124.25 and Batumi tower on 118.6, both on Victor. We'll be using ICS for our internal comms. Questions? All right, let's go. The weather in Kataisi is good. Outside air temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Broken clouds of 8,000 feet, scattered and broken at 21,000. Winds are 040 at 8 knots. Altimeter 29090. We can expect similar conditions when we arrive in Batumi, but we'll check the details with the approach before we land. Navigation and flight planning. We'll be using runway 07 for departure. We'll stay on runway heading until 2,000 feet. Then, 3 nautical miles from the Kataisi TACAN, we'll turn to a heading of 064 and fly towards exit east. We'll then turn southeast towards waypoint 2 and climb to 16,000 feet, which will be our cruise altitude today. The transition altitude is 7,000. We'll then continue towards the drop zone, performing drills for different flight instruments. There will be possible flight plan changes within the training zone, where we'll be adding and deleting waypoints to and from our flight plan. Before the drop zone, we'll orbit and set up the CARP, and then we'll deliver the cargo via an airdrop.
Question. Shouldn't we set up CARP data while still on the ground?
Yeah, normally we would, but I want you to have the preparation and drop as one, so to say, package. So we'll do it in the air this time. If there's nothing more, let's go ahead and move on. Recovery. We'll fly the Nedic 2 Bravo approach for Batumi. We'll get weather from the tower because there's no ATIS there. You'll set up the TACAN and ILS, and then we'll land using the ILS approach mode of the autopilot. After landing, you'll perform the shutdown procedure and we'll spend the night in the beautiful Georgian coastal city I've heard only good things about.
Great. Can't wait.
I brought something special along for us. I'll show you guys when we get there. Okay, emergencies. The divert field, if we need it, will be Kobaleti, 22 miles northeast from Batumi. This is a very short hop, so we don't need to worry about fuel today. The rest is pretty standard. If something happens, we'll just revert to our SOPs.
Welcome to the C-130 official training, where in 11 missions you will go through the basic functions of this amazing aircraft. These missions just scratch the surface of what the Hercules is capable of, but should provide you with a solid basis for further development. Since you're watching the briefing, you chose to fly the training as a campaign that will take you directly from one mission to the next. But do remember that each of them is also available separately in the training menu, where you can use the parts you'd like to repeat or practice more. Now, a few pointers to make sure that the experience with the campaign is as good as possible. First of all, if you find the voiceovers difficult to hear, lower the volume of the GUI, World, and in-cockpit sounds in Options Audio menu. Secondly, all the buttons that you will need to press will be highlighted, with the exception of numbers, such as frequencies, etc. In those cases, the mission will highlight the button needed to confirm the input. So if you make a mistake, clear it and enter it again before you confirm and before the mission continues. Thirdly, wait for the highlight to appear before pressing anything, or ideally, wait for the IP to finish his instructions first. Another thing, in order to avoid pressing spacebar, the C130 offers a special option under Controls Dialog Responses. There is negative, neutral, and positive, and I would advise that you bind them to your HOTAS, at least the positive and negative ones, so you can easily push the mission forward without having to reach to the keyboard. Do that once you've set everything up. Finally, most of the important information can be found in the DCS kneeboard, so don't be afraid to use it as often as you want. Enjoy the training!